Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. We're going to be breaking down today's price action. We're looking at the SP 500 futures contract, breaking down from the monthly, the weekly, daily, down into our 30-minute time frame, where we will review the TPO market profile 30-minute time frame and give you guys some destinations, review a couple of my trades, and kind of describe what occurred in the daily today. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Looking at the monthly right now, and the monthly is in a pure balance, right? Now, this is all subjective, however you want to look at things, where you want to place your channels, right? I have mine in a very large monthly balance, right? Because monthlies, I want to have some room to breathe. So my monthly balance is August high and October low, right? Or if you want, you can say this is your balance, right? I mean, it's all subjective. You can say that's your balance, right? You can use December's high and November's low. However you want to look at it, doesn't matter. One way or another, the market will align with each other. So for me, I'm in a very large balance on the monthly. Let's go into our weekly time frame. Weekly. Weekly, we are one time framing up still. Last week we attempted to take out the previous week's low after taking out the weekly high. We got down near it, got low, near the low, which was also our daily balance low at the time. Didn't quite get there. Buyers defended it. Sellers started to cover their positions, and then buyers started to step in. Bids stepped in, and then we had a massive short covering rally on Friday, as well as momentum buying, and then into today we continue that trend of one time framing up on the weekly. All one time framing up means is we're taking out previous weekly highs. So we're we were in a balance, right? We went from down to balance, and now we're going balance to up. So all we're doing is taking out, we're setting at higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, right? We're attempting to break out of this downtrend from the previous year, right? Attempting to take out this downward trend line here. Maybe this year things are starting to change up. Maybe we consolidate for a little while and then break up and test these highs, or we test at the monthly high, fail, and then roll back over. Right now, we are just consolidating, waiting to see what occurs. So far, the trend this year has been up as we are getting our new, we just set a new yearly high today. Um, so it's going to be interesting. Go ahead and look at our daily. Daily has gone from balance to up. Let's go ahead and look at our daily balance here. Now you can say we stretched the daily balance. That's all right. You can say it. And then if we take out tomorrow daily, guess what? We'll continue to one time frame up no matter what. So for me, I'm saying the daily's up, even though we closed back inside the balance, and we have a pretty good bit of excess up here as far as a sell tail, right? We were attempting to find acceptance of higher price up here, and then I'll show you on the intraday 30-minute time frame what was occurring. So far, we got the 20-day moving average, the 50-day moving average starting to curl up. Uh, Maybe have a little crossover of the 50 and the 200, which would be the first time happening since back in, oh, wow, since last year, back in March. So we could potentially have some really bullish technicals stepping in as far as for people that look at moving averages and the trade based off of that. You'll have those guys stepping in, maybe setting in some long positions, some buyers stepping in above this 250-day moving average, or like I said, we continue to consolidate. All these moving averages converge and start to move in a sideways action until we figure out which way the market wants to go. But right now, market's trying to go up. Today, we broke out of this 6-day balance. We begin to one time frame up. Tomorrow, we're going to look to continue that pattern to see if we take out today's high, which was at 40, 56.75. Today's high, if we take that out, then we'll firmly be one time framing up and then we'll look to attack this daily high back here at 40.9075. All right, and then above that is that next daily high at 41.41, and then above that is that gap. And then that daily high that's in that gap is at 42.0625. That's where that gap starts. That's where we're looking for if you're a swing trader, you're wanting to attack that gap up there. But right now, one time framing up, setting higher highs, higher lows on our daily. All right, let's go ahead and break down our 30-minute time frame. Zoom in here, boom. All right, so let me get rid of all this. Just go to our default and delete this, delete this. Oh. So we're looking at a 30-minute time frame. Let's go ahead and highlight our value areas. Value, oh, cancel. Value, go ahead and highlight it. Okay, so now you can see value area is being highlighted, right? All right, so value has moved higher, 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 higher. Kind of started to pull back a little bit. Value is now moving higher again. We're starting to set higher highs, higher lows, right? Yes, or last Friday we had a massive trend day up. Today we're continuing that, right? Continued that, and then for the first time in, let's see, we were one time framing up since Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, let's not even include all this. Just say here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9 time frames in a row before this pullback, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 3 more time frames, one time framing up. So we've one time framed up since Friday, 9 time frames in a row, 30 or 9 30-minute candles, right? One time framing up. Massive short covering was occurring. Today it goes out. We have like a little bit of a P shape, a double distribution, A's range, and then all of this up here. We hold a little bit of set of single prints. We were attempting to have a triple distribution, and it did not happen. We opened the day with a gap. We filled the gap above that daily high from Friday. We tried to open up with a gap. We filled it, and then we decided to start to move higher. Once we got these sets of single prints filled and that gap, right? We began to get rid of this crap. Boom. We started filling the sets of single prints where we opened up, filled a set of single prints, got into the next set of single prints. Shorts began to panic. We began to cover. They began to cover, and that provided the bid and helped the market push up even higher. Why is this not highlighting? Okay, thank you. We take out A period's high. We begin to one time frame up. So now let's review what buyers have on our checklist right now. All right. So far, buyers attempted to have a gap. They filled it, so that went away. But value opened up higher, so that's one check mark for the bulls, for the buyers. We got the overnight high. That's another check mark in the buyer's cap, right? We begin to one time frame up. That's another check mark in the buyer's cap. And then we're attempting to go trend. So we're attempting to have single prints. So that's another thing in buyer's favor, right? And then finally in C period, when we open up, we solidify having some single prints. And then we continue to one time frame up by taking out B period's high. Once we take that out, that means we've taken out the initial balance high. So that's another thing in buyer's favor, right? And as well as the opening. We hadn't seen the open since A period, so A, B, C. We were one time framing up, never seen the open, had a set of single prints, so a lot of things were in buyer's favor. Uh, we were nearing the top of that 6-day balance, which was up here at 40.35.25. Above that, we didn't have anything until that 9Y point of control, that naked 9Y point of control up here at 40.76. 50. We made an attempt to go and get that once we broke out of that balance high in D period. We continued a one time frame up, setting another set of single prints in C period. So now we have one set, two sets of single prints. We broke out, spiked up even higher in D period, setting a high on the day before consolidating E, F, G, and H and taking back most of D period set of single prints. So after breaking out of this high, after we broke out of that high, we created a set of single prints, began to one time frame up, or continued to one time frame up, and where the next destination was at 76 up here, which is pretty decent ways away, right? But then E, F, and G period, the rest period, we didn't quite get a whole lot of action during that time frame. Just some weak longs getting out of their positions, and then buyers kind of laggard buyers stepping into the market. And then finally, they decided to move this thing higher H and in I period, attempting to set a new, or did set a new high on the day. Attempted to go trend, didn't quite get it. Had a little bit of a sell tell, and then once we came back into the day's range in J period, we just liquidated pretty heavily in J, K, as all of these buyers that were up here didn't get paid very well. If they were holding on to anything, and anybody that did wait to buy the high they were getting hurt pretty heavy, and they provided some liquidity to this market, and we pulled back JK, filling the sets of single prints and only holding one set in B period. So with that being said, we go out with a P shape, one set of single prints, double distribution day. Today's high, today's low. That's it. Not a whole lot. Not a very massive trend day. We attempted to have a really good trend day, but it did not hold as we pulled back pretty heavy in J and in K period. So as far as my trades went, let me go ahead and review those with you real quick. I went long in A period, 5 minutes before B period opened up, on a pullback to see if B period would begin to one time frame up. Things were in buyers' favor at the time. We had higher value. I took the long based on buyers having value higher and the overnight high at the time. So with that, with those two things being checked off and the gap being filled, I felt really confident in the fact that we would begin to one time frame up in B period, take out A's high, and push this thing up higher. Uh, sure enough, we did. I was long in B period around 1575. Uh, oh, excuse me, not 1575. I was long around '09 and was looking to fill that set of single prints that we still had in A period at 15. So once we pushed up in B period, I got out of that long and we filled that set of single prints and pushed up even higher. Then I took a few more trades in B period based on buyers having higher value, the overnight high. And we were one time framing up now at the time. So on ebb and flow trade, on pullbacks, I was attempting, or I was looking to take longs as we were attempting to go trend. I took long at around 1575 and got paid. Uh, not a whole lot, about 2 points out of the trade because tempo kind of slowed a little bit. So on a push up, I got out of the trade, got paid. Then I took a long in C period on a pullback as now we've officially gone trend. We were holding a set of single prints in this range. All right. So we had something to lean on as far as buyers go. We knew there was going to be some support in this range. So I decided to take a long in C period, meaning I was buying on a pullback. Uh, and we had just gotten the initial balance high. So that was another thing to add into the buyer's cap. So I got long 23.75 and was looking for, 2 points, nothing big. Wanted to scalp out pretty good. And see, what did I get paid for? Yeah, I got paid roughly two and a quarter on that trade. Got out pretty good. Didn't like the long, or didn't like how long it was taking to move higher, because tempo was starting to slow down even more so as we approached our balance high. And then finally, in D period, I was looking to get long all day long, as long as things were in the buyer's favor. So I began to get long in D period as we broke out of balance. Took a long at around 40.50. So man, if I would have been smart and held the initial position that I took in A period, nothing ever told me to get out of the trade, and I could have held this thing all the way up until the daily highs and would have been paid really well. Um, but that's just not my style. I'm more comfortable taking the money when it's on the table in front of me because you never know if you'll get what happens here in J and K period and C and D period, right? You never know if these buyers want to give it up and roll down. And so because of that, I always like to take the profit. But I was buying up here at 40.50, um, and then exited around 42.50, and then I was even accumulating more of a position up here in D period around 42, 40, and 43.50, buying on pullbacks because we had held two sets of single prints now. We're attempting to go trend even more so. And then when on a push up, I got out around 46.75. Really good exit there. And then I took another position in E period, buying on the pullback against D's single prints at the time. And I had a pretty decent size on in E period because I was expecting us to hold it and then continue to one time frame up right away. But because we were coming into the lunchtime, things started to get a little tricky. So once it pushed up, I got out for not a whole lot. It was about a point and 2/4. So 1.5. Not a lot out of the position, but because I had a large position on, it turned out to be about a 6 point gain because I had about a six lot on. So not terrible trade there, E period. Um, and then that was the last trade of my day. Did really well. I was 12 for one. I only had one losing trade. So 12 trades, 13 trades in total. 12 were winning, one was a loser. And happy I didn't get involved later in the day. I decided to go to the gym and take care of some stuff. So let's go ahead and mark our destinations. Let's go ahead and mark our high of day and then review some if then statements on what can occur for tomorrow. All right, 56.75 is our high day. 56.75. Today's date is the 23rd, 23. All right, and then we have our set of single prints that start at 4016.75. That's another thing is we're attempting to find acceptance above the 4,000 level for the first time in a while as well. The third time trying to find acceptance above our 20-day moving average, or not 20 or 200-day moving average. So things are starting to look pretty solid for the year so far. Whether or not we uh, hold and continue to move in an upward fashion will determine on what the Fed does with rate hikes in the future and how the market reacts to that and how inflation holds itself. Single prints fill here at 4012.75. So you'll look to see if we open above the lower distribution, which is above these sets of single prints. So tomorrow we open up inside of this upper range. So all of the upper distribution is I's high to K's low. So this whole range from 40.56.75 to 40.16.75, that's all one distribution. And then A's range from 412.50, excuse me, not 75, 412.50 to A's low down here at 86.25 is the lower distribution. So if you open up above these sets of single prints, you want to take out the previous day's high and then go for the 40.76.50 naked 9Y point of control up here. If we get that, then you should have no problem getting 40.90.75 the high day from December 14th of 2022. This was the low. However, if we open up below the set of single prints and in A's range, then sellers are going to be looking to take out 39.8625, which is today's low, and then go and take back some of this trend day from Friday, uh, where you could potentially find shorts sellers begin to cover in these areas. However, I'm not looking for that to happen as we are one time framing up on the daily, and I look for that to continue tomorrow. The best thing we could do is open up above the set of single prints and take out the previous day's high, or today's high, excuse me, and look to go trend again. So with that, my friends, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching these videos. If you did make it to the end, please leave a like. If you could comment below what I could do better, if there's anything you would like me to review, if you'd like me to review the NASDAQ, the Russell, or a specific stock, holler at me and I'll happily break down what I think is going on from a monthly, weekly, daily, and then a 30-minute intraday time frame. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one.